So this is a short recording that I'm not going to stay too long on. But I just wanted to add my 2 cents to what servants of Yah, Pastor Rufus, and the message sent added concerning Straightway Ministry. You'll have to forgive me. I'm doing this recording. I'm going to get a haircut later on today or tomorrow. But I just wanted to add my 2 cents. I think the way that you treated Rufus, Pastor Rufus, was wrong, Dowell. It was wrong in the sense that you want people to pay for your Patreon channel in order for you to discuss why you kicked Rufus off the land, but yet you came on social media telling everybody to unsubscribe to Rufus. And you're saying that the only reason you'll explain what happened between you and Pastor Rufus is if they subscribe to your Patreon channel. Which is bogus. Now, Ellis the heathen, because he's not a Hebrew, Ellis the heathen called my wife a gorilla because I dared to question you and the leadership at Straightway. So my challenge to you, which I know you will not answer, is where does it say in Torah or the Apocrypha or the Tanakh or the New Testament, where does it say that if I don't join Straightway, I'm a heathen and I'm not a follower of Yah, and I'm not a follower of Yeshua HaMashiach, and that I'm going to hell? My second question to you, Dowell, and Daniel Muir, and Corey Phillips, because you're not pastors. Where does it say in Torah that I need permission from a pastor or an elder or a deacon to marry a sister in the faith? Where does it say that? And where does it say that if I leave the community, that I have to leave my wife behind and my children behind so you can take care of them? Where does it say that I need to give you money out of my paycheck and that I only get an allowance of $50 to $100 per month? What the hell am I going to do with $50 to $100 a month? You're saying that I get free cable and free internet, but I have to give you money to get that free cable and free internet. So it's not free. Where does it say that I have to give you the deed to my house, which I paid out of my, quote, slave wages, unquote, to prove all things? Where does it say that? Because in the book of Acts, it doesn't say anything about giving money to the church or the elders to prove all things. When it says sell your possessions and give to the poor, that's exactly what it meant. Sell your possessions and give to the poor. So where does it say that my selling my possessions and giving the money to you is proving all things in common? Because I don't see it. And for you, Elder Kabir, where does it say that by leaving Straightway, you're leaving your first love? Then you all get upset when people actually accept the challenge to leave if they don't like what's being said. So Sister Tammy decided to follow her master, her husband, Brother Marcus. And because Brother Marcus and Sister Tammy chose to leave because they didn't want to be involved with a hypocrite like you, Dowell, you have something negative to say about them. You told me, under no certain terms, that you was going to come to me face to face And I'm still waiting for you to come up to New York face to face. Why haven't you shown up? What are you afraid of? You used to be military, right? So let's test that boast. You come up. I'll even send you my address in the next blog talk. Or should I say drunk talk. I will send you my address to either my work or my residence, so you can come and you and me can knuckle drag. Since you military, what do you got to fear? Now your security team is falling apart. Why are you walking around with armed security? You're not the president of the United States. You're not a high profile celebrity. And you sure as hell is not the only man of Yah. There are plenty of men of Yah who are better than you, who are not hypocrites, and don't go around sleeping and screwing other men's wives behind their husband's back. And speaking of other men's wives, you are in violation of Deuteronomy 22 verse 22, Leviticus 20 verse 10, and Leviticus chapter 18 verse 20, which specifies thou shalt not sleep with another man's wife. Not to mention that you're in violation of 1 Corinthians 7 verses 10 and 11, where it says, and which you always teach on, that if a woman separates from her husband, she's to remain single or be reconciled to her husband. So guess what, Summer? You're in violation too. Sorry, Charles Dowell, Corey Phillips, Daniel Mura, Kabir Bajamila. You are not pastors. You are not elders. You are hypocrites. And Dowell, for you to say that you're Israel when your father or your grandfather is from the line of Yafet is disingenuous at best and deceitful and downright misinformation at worst. If it is true that your line is from the line of Yafet, you have lied to the people. Oh, foolish Dowell, who has bewitched you? Oh, foolish Straightway members, who has bewitched you? You are an adulterer, Dowell. You're a liar, Dowell. Daniel Mura, you are an abuser. How in the hell are you going to beat up an autistic child if this is true? Because it's alleged that the child was autistic. Why would you abuse an alleged autistic child? What sin has he committed? What are you hiding? What sin has he committed? If he's a homosexual, which you allege, then send him back to his natural family. Send him back to the heathens, if that's what you feel. And Kabir Bajamila, for you to say that you are the wife of Dowell, that Dowell is the husband and Straightway ministry members are the wives, that is sick and demented, and that definitely sounds gay. I'm sorry, but you're not brothers, you're not men, you're not pastors, you're not leaders. And until you can show me in Torah and the Tanakh and the Apocrypha and the so-called New Testament where it says not joining Straightway leads you to hell, you have no argument. And for you, Ellis the heathen, to call my wife a gorilla because I dared to challenge your master, your wife is not all that in a bag of chips. What I truly want to say to you about your wife, I'm not going to do that. Because I'm not going to be like you and stoop so low as to disrespect your wife the way you disrespected mine by calling her a gorilla. But you need to understand one thing. Where I come from, when you talk about a man's wife or a man's mother, those are fighting words. Where I come from, those are physical fighting words. Where you and I stand face to face, fist to fist. When you talk about somebody's mother, where I come from, you talk about somebody's wife, talk about somebody's mother, those are fighting words where I come from. But I'm going to let the Most High handle you and your wife for disrespecting my wife. I was going to leave well enough alone. But once you started disrespecting my wife, I decided to declare war. And I'm declaring war on you and your master, Charles Dowell, and your fake ass ministry. That's what I'm going to do. But no one understand that if you was up here and you disrespected my wife the way you did, definitely that's a physical confrontation. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But your wife is not all that in a bag of chips. But again, I'm not going to be like you and disrespect your wife and call your wife names and talk about how I can take your wife and make her mine and she'll be my sex slave and all this other. I'm not going to do all of that. I'm not going to do all of that because that's a sign of a weak ass man and a wimp and a simp. And that would prove to me that I would be a lapdog for somebody else. So for you, Brother Marcus and Brother Nick and Pastor Rufus, I commend you for standing up against Chuck. I commend you for that. And I hope that one day, between now and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, that we can all meet and break bread and fellowship at some point. With that, I say Shabbat Shalom, belated. With that, I say Shalom. Have a good night. Have a good day. Stay strong, Brother Nick, the message sent. Stay strong, Pastor Rufus, servants of Yah. Stay strong, Brother Marcus and Sister Tammy and Angela Neighbors. Shout out to all of you that either left straightway or allowed the Ruach Kadesh to stop them from joining straightway and see the wickedness that is strayway, not straightway, strayway. Shalom. I'll be doing a live video at some point during the next few days or the next week. Until then, shalom, shalom. Be blessed. Forgive the beard. It's been a month or two since I had a haircut. The next time I do a video, whether it be live or pre-recorded, I promise you, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, you will not see this. Shalom, shalom.